Hong Kong students and emigrants in Taiwan have been buying helmets, goggles, umbrellas, plastic wrap and band-aids in bulk and couriering them to pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong.
Here's a summary of the article.
Hong Kong students and emigrants in Taiwan have been buying helmets, goggles, umbrellas, plastic wrap and band-aids in bulk and couriering them to pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong. Authorities in mainland China have reportedly been intercepting Hong Kong-bound parcels containing similar items bound for Hong Kong as the protests show no sign of slowing down in the former British territory. Hong Kongers in Taiwan say Beijing has told mainland package service companies like SF Express to step up checks of the contents of parcels before delivering them to people in Hong Kong. Hong Kong students have also been accepting donations of second-hand items from locals, coordinated by an organization called Hong Kong Outlanders. Organizers have been looking for more secure ways to send the items to Hong Kong, and the preference has been to courier the parcels via the island's state-owned Chunghwa Post, instead of the local branch of a mainland company. A recent poll of eligible voters in Taiwan revealed that a majority of the 1,100-plus interviewed supported the protesters in Hong Kong, as well as President Tsai Ing-wen's steadfast rejection of Beijing's offer of one country, two systems. Hong Kong's protracted protests throughout the past 2 months have become a test of will for both the people and the government, after a rally against an amendment bill that would have enabled the rendition of people to mainland China widened into a groundswell calling for democracy, defending the city's liberty as well as the resignation of the city's top leader Carrie Lam.
This post received a score of 39,108, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
As the protests go on, the police have been linked with teaming up with gangsters and beating up people who weren't even protesting. People began constructing messages and banners on walls of subways to support the protesters in the form of a Lenin Wall. On 5 August, protests happened in 7 districts in Hong Kong and 1/3 flights were cancelled due to the work stoppage protectors. TLDR: the government messed up hard and nobody's happy. What's the state of the bill? Has it been put into law? Delayed? And what do people want? Change it? Stop it? Vote on it?
They want it stopped, but it's still under consideration.
Cool. Do you know of any polling or something to indicate any consent on the issue? Feels weird if the politicians would do something that isn't supported by anyone.
It feels weird because it is weird, and that's why they're protesting. It's quite obvious most people don't want it, and still for months the government have wanted to bring it in. Why? Pressure from China itself. Now that the British lease is over, China wants its trade hub back. China doesn't care what the people of Hong Kong have to say about it, they just want control, and they'll most likely keep applying firmer pressure until they get it. I truly fear a second coming of the Tiananmen Square massacre.
20 years ago, Hong Kong alone made up of over 20% of China's GDP. Today, it makes up just 3%. While we don't know Beijing's exact stance towards the protests, there are long-term benefits to the mainland to see these protests continue. Second, the protests breed animosity between the mainlanders and Hong Kong, leading to drastically less tourism from mainlanders. These factors along with some others will reduce the overall wealth within Hong Kong and make it more dependent on the mainland. Property values will begin to be drastically undervalued, serving to allow the Hong Kong population to be further diluted with mainland sympathizers.
Great analysis. I wish I'd have access to this level of strategic thinking in my workplace. Want to switch jobs? But yeah, China always plays the long-term game and is at least 3 or 4 steps ahead.
Interesting article about the various innovative methods which Hong Kong protesters are employing to achieve their aims.
Do you have a link that doesn't immediately divert from the article because I need to make an account?
Wow, super interesting article.
I'd be buying fireworks in bulk too lol.
It's not a true demonstration until you start seeing bread helmets.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.